Hi, Leslie Koo here. Metaverse, one of the hot tech topics nowadays. What is Metaverse? As Matthew Kenterman and Nathan Matthew of Bloomberg puts it in their article published on December 1st, 2021, social persistent, share, virtual 3D worlds. The Metaverse is the convergence of the physical and digital realms in the next evolution of the internet and social networks using real-time 3D software. In general, it's a virtual world that people meet and interact on real time, be it for entertainment, attending classes, watching movies, shopping, work, hanging out with friends, events, gaming, etc. I'm sure there are tons of other ways that we'll use Metaverse as a platform in the months or years to come. For the Metaverse platform to function in the ideal way that we hope it to be, we know both software and hardware are important. In this video, I want to focus on the hardware. They are the computer components, the virtual reality, augmented reality, eyewear, and other necessaries. Ideally, in the Metaverse, the characters that we see should be as real life as possible. The best would be like Princess Leia in the movie Rogue One, Luke Skywalker in the TV series The Mandalorian. The characters move like a normal human being. Even if the characters are shown in the form of an avatar, they should be as lifelike as possible in an ideal metaverse. At the very least, it should be like the cutscenes of a high-end PC game. This supreme visual quality is also applicable to the environment and the objects in the environment. Well, in the beginning stage of the development, yes, we can close one eye on the visual quality, but the pace of improvement of the visual quality must be fast, else people will lose interest. How will you feel if you have to see low definition and pixelated images throughout the time when you are in the metaverse? So to have top-notch 3D graphics, we must have high-end graphic cards. This is one component that we cannot be stingy. Besides graphics, there are massive information to be processed because it is real-time. These include movement of the characters, interaction between two characters like chatting with your friends, interaction between more characters like group discussions, characters touching objects, you pick up an apple in a virtual supermarket, characters in an event like going to a motor show in the metaverse, students attending classes, etc. To process all this data information that come from the users in the virtual world and any change of the environment, we need a powerful CPU, likely that it will have to be those in the top range. Now, given the complexity of running a metaverse, there are likely to be many modules that a computer needs to execute at the same time or within a fraction of a second. Some modules are for the characters, some are for the environment and objects, some for audio, etc., etc. And this means that we need a lot of random access memories or RAM, also those with fast memory speed, so that it can receive data from the CPU at high speed. The higher the speed, the faster the CPU receives and process the data. This gives ample space for the computer to run or execute the various program modules at the same time or within a short period of time. And to make sure that massive information and data are moving fast and smooth between the graphic card or the graphic cards, CPU, RAM, and other components of the computer, we most likely need a high-end motherboard. If a low-end motherboard is used, that will hinder the transfer of data information and in turn the necessary processing that is needed to run a metaverse smoothly. This will be bad for user experience. With high-end computer components, there will be lots of heat generated. You can't run away from that. So we need a good cooling system. I don't think the usual computer fans can do the job. We need a liquid cooling system. Other than the computer, we also need accessories. They must also become more advanced, at least in sync with the computer. There are already eyewear for us to see in the metaverse. Later, we may have gloves that allow us to touch, hold, and feel in the metaverse. We may also have shoes that allow us to feel a rocky path or to feel the sand on the beach in the metaverse. We may have clothes that allow us to feel the cold, heat, and rain in the metaverse. All these computer components and accessories, giving their high-end specs, do not come cheap. they will likely work out to be easily thousands of dollars, or maybe in tens of thousands of dollars. And this is not likely to be within reach of many people. And it doesn't make sense to just target those who are already using high-end computers, like the computer gamers, professional gamers, or professional content creators, etc. Or those who can afford high-end computers and accessories. Have to also target the others. If the user volume is not huge, there is then lesser reasons to develop the Metaverse platform. We have been living fine without Metaverse, so without it in the future, it is not likely to make us suffer or miserable. So while working on the software side, it is equally important to work on the hardware. Besides making the hardware more powerful, they must be made affordable. I know it is not easy, but it is necessary. Of course, one way is to auto-scale down the power of the high-end computers when there are users whose computers are of the low end in the Metaverse and they all coming together. This will sacrifice the user experience that the high-end computers bring. For sure, there's something that the users of the high-end computers do not want. Why would they want that after spending so much money on the hardware? Then how about categorizing Metaverse into high-end and low-end? High-end Metaverse for users who can afford high-end specs computers and accessories, and the low-end is for users who can only afford low-end specs computers and accessories. Yes, we can do that, but this is going to have adverse impact on especially the next generations. This is not about gamers logging into a virtual arena and start shooting the opponents or monsters or aliens. We want to eventually use Metaverse as much as possible in our daily life, so it touches more aspects of life. Segregating users like that will have negative impact. This is not what we want, as we have been teaching and encouraging adults and children, especially children, not to discriminate. That's my thought. Thank you for watching. See you in my next video.